Walter was born on October 29th, 1923, which makes him I was born in 1936, which makes him 11 years older than me. My brother went to McKinley High School. It was one of 5 public schools in Honolulu. He was always interested in airplanes. In fact, I think he had built some model airplanes out of balsa wood and, the model kits. So I think his interest was always in flying, and he wanted to be a pilot. The war had started in 1941, and I think after he graduated, he went directly to the mainland to go to an aeronautical school. He wanted to be involved somehow, but since Mom and Dad did not want him to join the Air Force, I think he chose that method of getting involved. They were flying cargos. My understanding, he was flying cargo supplies over the Himalayan hump, as it was called.
We called it flying the hump. Here over Calcutta, India, we got an idea of how much our sky wagons were slated to carry. There was plenty, tons of food and medicine, tons of gasoline and bombs.
On December 7th, our family was having breakfast and we heard a lot of commotion and airplanes. So we all looked up from the porch and looked in the sky and seen what's going on, and we could hear this wheezing of the bombs or explosions. It's really scary. And one of them came pretty close to our house. Dad and my brother Walter ran down to go see what was happening. We had heard that the lady who lived at that corner died from the explosion. Later on, I found out that it wasn't the bombs itself, it was the anti-aircraft artillery shooting at the planes. According to some of the pictures my brother sent home, he had a pretty Chinese girl in his apartment that he took a picture of the two of them. I remember seeing that picture when I was quite young. So I assume he had a girlfriend, a Chinese girlfriend. Oh, but I don't know what state, whether that was in Oklahoma or maybe he was in San Francisco, he could have been. The war ended in 45, so it must have been 46. I was 9 years old. I remember we just had bought the home in Manoa, and I think within a month or so, we got a telegram because we just got home from the store, and Mom opened the telegram and she burst into tears. And it said that he had died. He was out of gas. He was circling the airport, and his wing clipped the telephone lines, and he crash landed. That was the story we heard, and I'm assuming that my mother got that story from the airline that he worked for. I'm thinking maybe the company itself did not want to acknowledge that it was a plane failure. It's an airline pilot failure if he runs out of gas and the crash lands. I don't know, but if it crashes before takeoff, as you said, then it had to be a plane, a mechanical failure. And nobody talks about stuff like that, I guess. You don't think about these things, when you're growing up. It just happens, but I know he's buried in Diamond Head, and so is Mom and Dad.